And we are back with another Age of Ascension live play. I am playing a deck called the Queen that Crushes the Martians. It's a Untamed Brobnar deck. And the fun thing is, I'm playing against a deck that has Mars in it. It's Brobnar Mars Untamed. And Josh starts with an Ixilk's Dominator as his first play. Just a little table talk here. I think we're just trying to figure out some card interactions. I think I'm trying to figure out if there's any intricate plays I can do here, or if there's just a really straightforward one that I should play. And I go with House Brobnar. I'll start with the King of the Crag, then a Calfine, and a little Rapskull, and finish it up with a Smith, so I have more creatures, gain 1 bonus amber, and then I get an extra 2 because I have more creatures. So I think I opted for the more straightforward play there. Just try and get amber as fast as I can. And he follows with an Untamed turn. Plays a Nox, so he gets +3 for each neighbor he has. So he's at +6 right now. Or sorry, +3, total of 6. Now he's at +6, a total of 9. Because he plays Opposed Pixies. Opposed Pixies, if I were to steal or capture amber, the amber would come from the common pool instead. And with my little Rapskull out, creatures must fight if able when they're used. So no reaping can happen right now, just fighting. I'm going to have Calfine start by fighting Opposed Pixies, who is elusive. But then Calfine will do 2 damage to its neighbors. Then I'll have King of the Crag finish off that Opposed Pixies. And then I will drop a Smith for another 3 amber, puts me on check to my first already. And since since Little Rapskull must fight, I'm just going to forfeit his use and end my turn. Think. Just hopping on my app there. I think I'm pulling the deck up so I can track casual play wins and losses for each deck as we play. I remember Josh was talking about, he was thinking what he could do since Little Rapskull prevents reaps. So he's just trying to think of the best play here. So I'm holding a Nature's Call, looks like a couple other Untamed cards in my hand. Josh is going Brobner. He's going to play Flamethrower. And a Relentless Assault. So he's going to ready and fight with Ixox Dominator, which just removes a stun. And Noxu is still at +3, so it's a total of 6 power. He's going to attack my King of the Crag, which will kill both of them. I forge at 6. I'm going to play Nature's Call and return my little Rapskull and then his Ixox Dominator. I'm going to play Nature's Grasp to make him take his Nepenthe Seed and Flamethrower back to hand, and end my turn. And I wanted to bounce my little Rapskull there because I wanted to have a little more ability to reap. If his board starts to build too much, I can play the little Rapskull again to force him to fight. But in the meantime, while I was maintaining board control, I wanted to just be able to use my creatures to reap. Plays a Mars turn. He has an Orbital Bombardment. He reveals 3 Mars cards, which does a total of 6 damage, which will just outright kill my Calfine. Then he plays his Ixox Dominator and a Mars first, which allows him to ready and use a creature. So that'll just remove the stun. And then his turn's over. I play a Dis turn. I go Charette to capture 2. Then I play, but I still can discard Misery Exploit. It's not going to do me good because he has no damaged creatures. And then a Bloodshard Imp I discard. I play a Banish to put his Ixox Dominator into his archives. Then I'm going to play Not Finished With You to take any number of creatures from my discard pile and shuffle them back into my deck. I choose my King of the Crag and my Calfine. And end my turn at 4 Amber toward my second key. And he plays Untamed Nepenthe Seed, followed by a They're Everywhere, which puts 2 damage on my flank creatures. And then he plays a Grove Keeper and a Darna. So the Darna is going to gain +1 power. And that They're Everywhere that he just played, if I had more than one creature, it would also put 1 damage on non-flank creatures of mine. And I'm going to play Untamed, so I play Fogbank. He cannot fight on his next turn. finish my turn with a Dusk Witch. So that's a nice little way to protect the Dusk Witch. So in order to kill her, he has to have out-of-hand damage. He cannot use fight abilities to kill her because of my Fog Bank. So any damage to kill her has to be from play effects or actions, something that can get her or deal damage to her without fighting. Looks like he's holding a whole bunch of Mars cards. He picks up his archives, which was an Ixilk's Dominator. He's going to use Nepenthe Seed to grab his Orbital Bombardment. So he knew he had to get her off the board because he's suspecting I've got a pretty big creature turn coming up. He reveals 2 cards, which does a total of 4 damage in instances of 2, so he's able to kill both my Charette and my Dusk Witch. Plays a Mind Worm. Puts a red planet ray gun on Darna. Puts on that 5 power. Plays an Ixilk's Dominator to protect that Mind Worm. And that Mind Worm should be exhausted there, just because it came into play. And then the Grove Keeper starts doing some work there, gives +1 to both the Mind Worm and Darna. So I'm going to go Brobnar, play a Little Rapskull, a Calfine, and an Ogopogo. So now, since he's got a decent sized board, I don't want him to be able to reap, so I'm forcing him to fight by playing that Little Rapskull. And his creatures are much weaker than mine, and the one large creature that he does have is stunned. And this is a much slower paced game than the others. These are decks that neither of us have played very much. So we're just trying to figure out the synergies and the combos and the counterplays to all of it. So it's definitely not as rapid as the last game. I think the last game only took 12 minutes. Not as straightforward to play in either of these decks either. There's a lot of potential lines of play. We're trying to just figure out what the best for each and all the situations might be. Looks like he's got a decent size of Brobnar in his hand. He's also holding a Key Abduction, so it'll be interesting to see when or if he can get that to fire. I've got some more Brobnar tricks in my hand. I think one of them was a really cool new upgrade called Cyber Giant Rig, which fully heals the creature I put it on, and then I gain some plus power. And then each time I use the creature with the plus power, I lose 1. I'm sorry, at the end of the turn I lose 1 power. So it buffs them for a couple turns, but also fully heals them, which is really powerful for Brobnar, especially since they're so fight-based this set. Right, so he is going to be in Mars. He's going to fight with the Mindworm. To have Cowfine do its damage, which is 5, to its neighbors. So Cowfine will kill Mindworm. But then Cowfine will also kill my little Rapskull, so he's free to reap now if he wishes. And he's going to remove the stun on the Ixalk's Dominator. And he's going to play Key Abduction just for the bonus Amber. He's going to play the Dominator back out. I'm going Brobnar. I'm going to play First Blood. So it's an alpha card. Must be the first thing I do. So I can do a total of 4 damage. I have to do 5 to kill that Darna. I choose to do the 4 damage directly to the Ixalk's Dominator. I reap with my Cowfine. Then I play Cybergiant Rig on Ogopogo. So he is fully healed and gains plus 5 power. So he's at 11 power. I decide to kill that Darna. So she does 5 damage to me in return. And then at the end of my turn, I lose a +1 power counter from Ogopogo. And I'm at check toward my second key, and he forges his first. So he played Burn the Stockpiles there, so I lost 4 Amber, which hurt a lot. He plays Brobnar, drops a Kulf the Quiet, and then a Drummerknot next to Grovekeeper, and a Flamethrower back out. I'm going to play Untamed, I'm going to play Nox, then a Fanghouse, a Marmoswarm, and a Rust Gnar. So Nox is +6. And I should also lose a power marker there on Ogopogo. Can't remember if I go back and do it. Hope that I do. I like to maintain a good board state. Looks like I drew into some fun dis stuff in my hand. I have another not finished with you, so I'm just filtering through my discard pile to see what creatures I have. So +6 to Nox. My Marmoswarm is +4. He's gonna go Brobnar, Reaps with Juggernaut, Reaps with Cult of the Quiet. And he didn't do it physically, but he told me he's just gonna bounce Cult of the Quiet and then put him back out. And then he plays Might Makes Right to cheat out his second key, sacrificing 25 or more total power. And then I missed what he played there, but it wiped out almost all my board. So key cheating into that second key gave him a vast advantage right now. He's now 3 amber from his win. And I'm not in as good of a spot as I thought I was. I know at that point I was feeling pretty good about the game. I had an okay board state. Had some cool stuff in my hand, and then the moment he key cheated, I just remember, oh, fuck. Maybe totally have to rethink how I was playing. I'm now looking through his discard pile to see what he could possibly recycle. Maybe I could steal something. Yeah, that key cheat threw all of my plans out the window, and I have to reevaluate here. So I'm gonna go Brobnar. I'm just gonna change the order I played in there. I'm gonna play Pound. 2 damage to Ogopogo, splash 1 to Calfine, play Bingle Bang Bang, and Reap twice. Then I lose a power token. So I'm actually, if I was maintaining board state properly here and neither of us caught this, Ogopogo should be dead right now. Because he should only be at +2 and he has 8 damage, so he should die. I don't think it ultimately made the game matter though. Well, because then I would have, yeah, it would have given me 1 less amber. I would have just reaped with him first. So amber potential would have been the same, I just would have had to sequence my turn a little different. So, don't claim to ever have these streams be perfect. But this is kind of stuff you don't really notice in the moment, and then you go back and watch it and you're like, well, I definitely didn't play that right. And he's in a Mars turn, so he's going to play Sniffer, and then uses his Collector Worm with the Mars first to fight my Calfine and put it in his archive. And he's at 5 amber, so he's pretty close to a win here. I'm going in so I play an Amber Imp. Just anytime a creature reaps, stun it. I play a Schuler to steal 1. And I play a Pain Reaction, which just does 2 damage to a Collector Worm, so it eats it with all its armor. Then I play a Not Finished With You to recycle. I think I choose all of my untamed creatures here. And my deck's pretty thin, so cycling my untamed back in my deck statistically should give me a pretty good untamed turn in the next turn or two if the game goes that long. I think at this point I was at 12 or 13 cards in my deck, including the 5 or 6 I just shuffled back in. So about half my deck now is untamed creatures. Trying to do some juju there. So we are both at 2 keys and both at 4 amber. So this game ended up being a lot closer than it looked a couple turns ago. And again, I'm not maintaining board state here. There we go, I catch myself. He should be dead. I think I add the power and then I recalculate it and he's dead. So in the grand scheme of things, it didn't affect the game state. There was no amber potential that was altered by him staying on the board, but just a reminder to always make sure you know what your upgrades are, what their effects are, and make sure you check everything at turn end to make sure you're maintaining a good board state. I have a few untamed things, actually a full hand of untamed there, and 1 dis. I think the 1 dis I have is an Orb of Invidious, which would make any creature, so that's not even in this deck. I won't even try and guess, I can't see what it is, we'll see if I play it. Really OCD about keeping my cards clean. I think there was like a cat hair in there, so I had to pick it out. Let's see what he does here. So he discards 2 cards, he's in Untamed, and then he plays a Gravid Cycle, which is an Omega card, but lets him return a card to his hand from his discard pile. He grabs a Nepenthe Seed. Or does he? I think he's thinking about it. He's looking at Grove Keeper. I remember him talking about potentially taking the Burn the Stockpile, but he knows that I'm a more intelligent player than that, and knowing that he's already played it, it might be a risk that he would play it again, so I probably wouldn't go much farther over 6 amber if I could avoid it. This is a difficult choice for him because he knows he has to pick a good card here. Because he has to be able to try and keep me off this last key because we're both so close. And then I give a quick flip through his archive or his discard pile here just to try and decipher what he took. And normally I don't look through discard piles or anything like that in casual play, but since this is such a close game, I wanted to see what my options were to try and squeak out a win in this really close game that we've got going. I'm gonna play a Untamed turn. There's my Legacy Snufflegator, then a Marmo Swarm, which I'm gonna put Way of the Porcupine on him, so he's got Hazardous. I think it's Hazardous 2. I'm gonna play Mimicry, and that's also why I was looking through his discard pile. I'm going to finish my turn with a Dusk Witch, and I am on checkmate. And the card that I copied was Key Abduction, and I used that not for the key cheat, but to return that Collector Worm to his hand, so he has no board going into this turn. So to keep me off of a key, he has to be able to play something out of hand. And I'm also counting my power. I think I was 1 or 2 powers short from being able to copy his Might Makes Right to cheat that last key. He's gonna pick up his archives and then throw them at me, conceding the game. He has no steel to stop me. That was a very close game. That Might Makes Right play from Josh really had me worried. I think it was about turn 10 or 12. But I was able to squeak out that win. I just was able to maintain far better of a board than he was. And it allowed me to keep the pressure going until I finally closed the game out. So stay tuned for the next video. The video will probably be out sometime this weekend-ish. I don't know. Anyway, this has been the Crystal Hive. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you next time.